So, good morning and welcome to our training on electrical maintenance, measurement and testing on electrical assets. So, the major reason why we carry out electrical measurement and testing on electrical assets is to ensure the reliability of the asset. So, in this program, at the end of the program, you will understand the various electrical maintenance tests that we carry out on electrical assets and the reason why we carry out these electrical maintenance testing or measurement, and also too the part of the electrical assets or the component of the electrical assets that we are actually testing when we are carrying out whatever electrical maintenance test that we are carrying out. And then secondly, we will also see why maintenance testing on electrical assets is important. Okay, like we said before, it is basically to improve or to determine the reliability of the asset. And thirdly, at the end of the program, you also know how to carry out maintenance tests. Okay, electrical maintenance tests on the electrical assets or electrical machines. Not only that you know how to carry out these tests, but as you carry out these tests, the particular component in the asset that you are testing, you must understand it, and also the response that you expect to have at the end of the testing. Okay, so all of these we are going to get them in the course of this program. Then what results you actually or you are actually expecting from the tests, you also get it in the course of this program, so that as you are referencing your test result to what you are expecting, of course that will help you to determine if the asset is actually fit for purpose or fit to be run without issues in the course of operations. And then we also see how maintenance testing and measurement can help to improve the reliability of your electrical asset, especially when you are trending the test results or measurement results. You come to see that you'll be able to determine when there are deviations from what is normal. Okay, so that will help you to get the trend from the equipment operations and know when incipient faults are setting in the operations of the equipment. And then finally, how you can interpret the test results, okay, from your measurement and testing as you carry out that measurement and testing at regular or regular intervals on your electrical asset. So if there are problems developing, as we said before, you be able at the end of this program to determine whether problem is developing or not. So to help us achieve all of these objectives, we have broken down this program into a series of topics. Okay, first we are going to introduce ourselves into electrical measurement and testing, why we need to carry out measurement and testing, the various types of electrical measurement and testing, and the particular component in the electrical asset or machine that we are testing. We are going to cover all of this under this first section of the program. Then of course we are going to see the various types of electrical maintenance testing, especially the most common ones. We are going to see it and know how to deploy such tests on our electrical assets, such that the test results will give us an insight as to the health of the equipment. Majority of maintenance personnel, electrical, they actually carry out most of this maintenance testing without actually knowing what precisely they are testing or what the reason why they are testing all of this. Okay, so at the end of the program, the reason will be clear to us, such that whenever we carry out our test equipment into the field to test our electrical equipment, we will know precisely what we are doing, so that if there is any deviations, we will be able to determine that there are deviations, and if it is caused by problems or faults, we will also be able to determine such a problem. Or if it is part of the operational mode of the equipment, we will also be able to know. Okay? Then part of the maintenance testing that we are going to look at, as you can see on your screen, is the insulation resistance testing. The insulation resistance test. When you are carrying out insulation resistance test, what component of the electrical machine that you are actually testing? Okay, we are going to see that. We are also going to look at power factor testing. Okay, we will see the difference between insulation resistance test and power factor testing, and which of the electrical assets we can deploy the power factor test equipment on, and also the insulation resistance test equipment. So we are going to see all of this, and also we are going to look at high port tests or high port testing. Okay, high potential testing to see. We will see the equipment, the reason why we carry out high potential testing, and what component of the electrical assets that we are actually testing whenever we do high potential tests on electrical equipment. We are also going to see winding resistance, winding or low resistance tests. Okay, so basically with this test we'll be able to know the resistance of each of the windings, and the reason why we are testing for the resistance of each of the windings. We also see them, we also see it, and also this we can also deploy it to look at the entire circuitry, okay, or system of the circuit, electric motor circuit, or even your generator circuit, and even also your transformer circuitry. Okay, so we are going to see how we can deploy these low resistance tests or winding resistance tests to ascertain the functionality of our equipment. And then we are going to carry out some maintenance tests on some electrical machines and see what we need to expect from these electrical machines, and how to, where to fix the probes on the electrical machines, and what we are actually testing on each of these electrical assets. So we are going to see that, and finally we are going to trend and then interpret our trend. That is the results that we get from our tests. We trend the results, then look at the trend, what the trend is telling us, and then we use that to deduce what is actually happening within the asset or within the equipment. So that is briefly what we are going to cover under this section. So let us take, under this training I mean to say, so let us take the first part of the training, which is the first section, that is the introduction to electrical testing. So, testing, why do we carry out electrical testing? Basically, we carry out electrical testing to ascertain the health condition of our electrical assets, or to ascertain the operational status or condition also of the asset. And above all of this will help us to determine the reliability of the equipment. Whether when we deploy the equipment into operations, we will be able to get what is expected from the equipment without issues. So you will see that all of these tests, as we'll see later, will help us to determine all of these on our electrical assets. And of course, you know, to help us to look at the health condition of these assets, we need special instruments, okay? Special test equipment to carry out these tests. So we will see all of these test equipment, and then we'll also see how we can deploy this test equipment on our electrical assets in the course of this program. So as you can see on your screen, here is an example of such test equipment that you can use, and this is how it is deployed. We'll come to see it in the course of the program later on power quality measurement or power quality measurement and testing. The section under power quality measurement and testing, we'll see how to use this power quality analyzer. Okay, so we also have other instruments that we can use to know various states or status of the equipment. So here are some diagnostic equipment that we can also use to know the condition of the equipment while online, that is when the asset is working or is in operations. Okay, so we use this to know some of the health conditions and to ascertain whether the equipment is developing some, or there are some incipient faults within the equipment, or whether the equipment is still fit for further use. And if it is not, we can also from the test results carry out what is called the fault prognosis. Okay, the amount of time that we have till the equipment will eventually fail. So we'll see all of this. So maintenance testing. When do we carry out maintenance tests on our electrical assets? Good question. Is that also? Yes. So when do we carry out these tests? One, during troubleshooting and repairs. That is, when we already have problem within the asset, within the equipment, within the installation, or within the circuitry. Okay? That is, the equipment has failed to deliver what is expected. So we can carry out maintenance and testing to know the particular component of the equipment that has failed, or what is wrong with the electrical asset, okay, with a view to fixing it and bringing the equipment back into operations. Then secondly, during operations and maintenance, we can carry out measurement and testing to know specifically the health condition of the equipment, and to also see if the equipment is delivering as expected. Okay, so the parameters that operational parameters that we need to look at to ascertain all of these, we will also discuss it in the course of this program. So these are some of the period that you can carry out maintenance and testing. Then the other time is during installation and commissioning. Okay, you carry out maintenance and testing during installation and commissioning to ascertain that the equipment will deliver as required. Okay, that is, it will meet the design requirement or the installation requirement. So the parameters that we also need to look at when doing this maintenance, installation and commissioning exercise, okay, we are also going to see all of this. So these are the different scenarios or times that we carry out maintenance, maintenance testing and measurement on electrical assets. That is when we have problems during troubleshooting and repairs. Okay, to ascertain that our repair work is fine, to locate problem after fixing the problem, to ascertain that the problem has actually been fixed. Then secondly, during normal operations, okay, and maintenance, to see that there are no deviations from the expected operational parameters of that particular electrical asset that we are looking at, and also during installation and commissioning, okay, to ascertain that the equipment is installed as designed, one, and also it will be able to deliver what it is designed and installed for. Okay, so we do that during installation and commissioning, and also to ascertain that the equipment will operate safely, that